And pull yourself up a chair.
That cherry!
Let the fun begin. It's time to let down your hair. TV's too unexcited, so it's meant to spin and bite.
That's you!
So wacky, TV playhouse. There's a crazy rhythm coming from Puppet Land.
What's that?
There you do a cool cat, Chicky Baby, on the puppet band.
Yeah!
You gotta couple up to a gift band.
Well, we're halfway through Acid Eaters Month, so how's everybody doing so far? Awesome. Well, so far we've looked at a modern-day 60s tribute that was hypnotically challenged, and a 1980s doll story-turned movie that had some trippy moments, but was otherwise harmless. But those two were just a warm-up for things to come, because today we're going to be taking a look at one of the craziest, most nonsensical, mind-melting creations to ever come out of the good old 1970s. What's this movie about? Dolls. Yeah, I don't know much about dolls. I'm a hot rod kind of guy. But I do know that well over 80 years ago, there existed a handmade rag doll named Raggedy Ann, who started out appearing in books written by Johnny Gruelle, before being made into a real-life rag doll. Raggedy Ann was followed up by another character named Raggedy Andy, who was meant to be Raggedy Ann's twin brother. Now, this was all before Barbie and Ken and all that shit, so there was no need for any new clothes or accessories. It's just some big, stuffed creation for girls to cuddle up with. Or, cosplay in. Now, there have been many television and film adaptations of the two characters, but probably the most infamous is the 1977 animated movie simply entitled Raggedy Ann and Andy, A Musical Adventure. This movie was directed by Richard Williams, well known for directing the equally bizarre and twisted Thief and the Cobbler. Unfortunately, Williams ran out of money before he could complete Raggedy Ann, leaving the film basically unfinished. The film starts out with a live-action segment with a little girl named Marcella, played by director Richard Williams' daughter, Claire Williams. Here we see Marcella coming off of a school bus carrying a Raggedy Ann doll. You just gotta love how she just drags her along the ground, huh? No wonder they call that thing Raggedy Ann. So she goes inside her house and leaves Annie in her room alongside some of the ugliest toys ever made. Then the opening credits roll, and right away you can see what we're in for. The credit text is composed of all these wonky colors, and every now and then you see some bizarre character messing around with the words. It's also worth noting that each character in this movie has their very own animator. The camel was animated by Art Babbitt, Annie was animated by Tissa David, the Greedy by Emery Hawkins, and vice versa of many of the other characters. And you gotta love this. Animated everything and everyone else. Hey, you see that guy over there? He drew in all the little stitches on all the toys. Last time I heard from him, he's now a professional stitch artist at Chilton Memorial. So apparently whenever Marcella leaves the room, everything turns into a cartoon, and now the characters can talk and move around.
Grandpa, is Marcella gone? For sure?
Why hello there, Stacy Jones. Fancy seeing you outside of Shining Time. So we're introduced to some of the other characters in the room like Grandpa, Maxie Fixit, Susie Pincushion, Mr. Sacco, and...
Where'd you go? Where'd you go? What did you do and why? Tell us what you saw, dear Raggedy. We're so curious, we could die. Whoa!
Thank you, that was very necessary. So the toys want to hear what Annie did while she was out with Marcella. So Annie decides to tell them in a song. Wow, cross-eyed Annie much?
Most times it's only the simple everyday things, like ribbon bows or puppies and boys or games to play on swings. But sometimes hanging upside down from Marcella's hand, by myself I see a very special land. I look, and what do I see?
That everything has come to life, a better place, and a broken dream, And you leave it all behind?
Looking out with two brand new shoe button eyes, here's what appears to me. I see lots of pretty and a lot of happy and a bit of everything that's there inside of me.
So yeah, if you want sugar-coated goodness, this is as much as you're gonna get. As it turns out, today is Marcella's 7th birthday, and a package has just shown up in her room, crushing the Wicked Witch of the West. No, actually, it's Annie's brother, and our second protagonist, Raggedy Andy.
I was on the floor here doing my push-ups when wham, bam, everything went dark and I was squashed by that.
That's Marcella's birthday present.
What do I care? I spent the whole day under that thing. I'm getting pretty sick and tired of all the dumb things that go on around here. This is no place for a strong, tough, and terrific boy like myself.
You're strong, tough, and terrific?
I could be. If I didn't have to hang around this nursery and be a girl's doll.
Fucking A, Andy! You got some big stuffed balls standing up against all this girly bullshit surrounding you, unlike that gay Ken doll. What else you gotta say about it, dude?
Well, you can push me, shove
In song form?
I'm no girl's toy. You can tie me, toss me upside or down, but I'm no girl's toy.
And you know what? I like this song. It sort of reminds me of one of those old musical numbers at shows in the 70s, which makes sense since Andy's voice actor, Mark Baker, was a stage actor prior to this movie. And he does do a pretty good job, showing how his character wants out of this whole girly environment, and he wants to move on to something cool, something badass, something hardcore.
On me, chase me, follow me home. I won't be coy. You may not like it much, but I'm my own best boy, and not some sugar and spicy, lacy and nicey. Sissy, you're gonna enjoy. No, girl's toy.
Oh, Andrew, you're just terrible.
A regular Huck Finn.
Wouldn't you be pushed around and squashed up by a bunch of girls?
You tell him, Sonny.
Tell him what?
What do you mean? Tell him the truth.
What truth?
You can't handle the truth.
Too many girls.
Ah, bullshit, Andy. Once you've hit doll puberty, you'll be begging for some plastic pussy. That came out wrong.
What's in the box? What's in the box? Gotta find out what's in the box. Whoa!
So Marcella suddenly shows up in the room and all the dolls turn inanimate again. Marcella then opens up the package and it's revealed to be a French doll, which she names Babbitt. So the dolls introduce themselves to Babbitt, who is very nervous because she's never been in a nursery before.
Oh, la 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 la. What am I doing in such a terrible place?
Oui, oui, milady. Where is the cheese? So to cheer Babbitt up, Annie and Andy sing themselves another song.
All of us live in the nursery. All of us different as we can be.
You know, nothing for nothing, but we're not even 20 minutes into this movie, and we've had 3 songs play so far. I know this is supposed to be a musical, but why so many songs in such a short amount of time? Are they trying to take the Ramones approach? Trying to sing at least 50 songs in under 90 minutes?
Oh, brother.
However, the captain with the erectile mustache here tells Annie that he needs help getting out of a snow globe he's stuck in.
Raggedy Ann, oh Raggedy Ann, hey, what you thinking about? How you gonna get in that thing and get the captain out? Whoa!
But truthfully, the captain has a boner for this new doll Babbitt. So when the toys free him from the snow globe, he suddenly kidnaps her and takes her away. But not before singing another song.
Hi-yo, for the life of a pirate. Trim the mizzen and shiver the timbers and hoist the main. Hi-yo,
Aren't the dolls gonna do something about this? Why are they still singing? Come on, Andy. You were the one who wanted to kick ass and take names. Beat up Captain Crunch, rescue the doll, and be the hero, why don't you? Nope. Instead, the ship goes vertical and escapes out the window. So now it's up to Annie and Andy to save Babbitt from the dark and scary woods. Wait a minute. I just thought of something. Toys come to life after their master leaves the room. A new doll has come to the nursery and is the center of the tension. The doll gets kidnapped and the other toys have to get it back. Oh my god, Toy Story ripped off Raggedy Ann and Andy?
Are you scared?
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't be.
Because you're on scare tactics.
Well, I got this paper daisy you gave me. The time I got washed and starched by mistake, remember?
And you couldn't move for weeks.
Yeah, well, this flower sure cheered me up, and I've been carrying it with me for good luck ever since.
Times when you're real down and low.
Every lonely place I go, there's a way I always know. We're always together.
Paper daisies to explain.
These guys are supposed to be brother and sister, right? Is there some incestuous secret that they're trying to hide from us?
Candy hearts and paper flowers. Sunshine days and skies of blue.
And you want to know another problem I have with these songs? Some of them are way too long. In fact, this song, entitled Candy Hearts and Paper Flowers, is a pretty good song, but it clocks in at around 5 minutes. That's just outrageous. It may be good for the movie soundtrack, but don't plug the entire thing into the film when it's already moving slower than the loading screens in a Sega CD game. So as the movie progresses, it starts to get really smegged up, with all these weird faces. In fact, is it me, or has the film quality deteriorated? I mean, earlier it looked fine, but now it just looks smudgy, sort of like the backgrounds in The Magic Voyage. What happened here? Was Corny Cole getting too much corn and not enough gold for his crown? Well, don't criticize me for bad jokes. It's 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm too tired to do anything funny. So after wandering around the woods for a bit, Annie and Andy come across an old beat-up blue camel.
I've been running and chasing after my caravan of camels.
What caravan?
But where?
Uh-oh, the camel's tripping balls. Quick, put the mushrooms away! So the Slim Pickens camel explains that he originally had an owner before he started getting too old and decrepit. And then he proceeds to sing another song.
Can't find a friend, and the road doesn't seem to end, and you're lonesome the whole day through. How can you be happy? How can you be smiling? How can you be anything but low down, saggy and blue?
So after about 5 minutes of singing and articulating, the camel agrees to join the dolls in their quest, and oh, by Chris Farley's cheesecake, would you knock that off? You're scaring people. So apparently the camel wants to join all these other camels that are galloping up to heaven. And by the looks of it, it won't take them long.
I'm a coming